Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video of mine. This is episode 12 of the series and it's been a while since I posted, about 2 months, but finally I'm back here with you and I'm very happy that I am able to share a very cool story with you for the next episode. Remember last year in 2021, it's the end of the year, we went to Bolivia and went to scout some routes which we hopefully are soon gonna be offering to our guests. Now last month in the end of June to the beginning of July 2022 we went back to Bolivia to finish the scouting and finish all the routes which soon we're gonna show to our guests. So what did we do? Other than last time, this time we left by car from the hotel from San Pedro Atacama. We crossed the border to Bolivia as well by car. It's very close to a volcano which is called San Pedro and San Pablo. They are very, very beautiful to see it.
Good morning everyone, how are you doing? So we are making breakfast right now. Some eggs, some bread, something simple. And yeah, it's 7 AM, preparing for the expedition, and then soon we will be in the car and off to Bolivia.
Hi guys, Eric here. Well, normally every time I start a trip with some guests, I ask them 3 questions for them to answer me at the end of their trip. And the first one is, who are you before you start your trip? The second one is, what happened during your trip? And at the end, who are you at the end of the trip? What did you take with you? So answer at the end of the video. Bye.
Alright guys, we checked out of the Chilean border and now we're going to go into Bolivia. Let's see.
And then we continued our drive until a little town called San Juan.
Alright, we are here in San Juan now. Today also there's a festival here which is called the Festival of San Juan, which hopefully we can attend and see some dancing here in music, but we will see how.
And San Juan is a little town in Bolivia. Lots of indigenous people living there and very, very beautiful landscapes. You have to know that many little towns in Bolivia, they are very isolated first. The people there, they live their traditions like they did before, and also the landscape and the surrounding area is just beautiful there. So we stayed there for 1 night in a little hostel which was all built by salt, so that was very interesting. And even though we were at high altitude, at almost 4,000 meters, we didn't feel any cold during the night, which is something which we didn't expect. The next morning we left quite early from the place San Juan to another place which is near San Pedro de Quemes, where the hotel will have the lodge. From there on, from this place, we continued the drive all the way to the Uyuni Salt Flat, which is one of the most beautiful places in Bolivia, you have to know. And if you don't know this place, it's just amazing, and I think it could be a natural world wonder, right? The Uyuni Salt Flat, over there we stayed at a place which is called Laguna Salada. It's a hotel which is very, very beautiful, and also this hotel consists plainly out of salt. However, it's more luxurious than just a hostel. This is a really amazing accommodation. It has its own spa area. It has lots of little rooms where they make fire pits where they turn on fire pits during the night, so people can warm themselves. And just in all, it's a very amazing place.
Alright guys, welcome. We finished a long day and now we arrived at the hotel which is called Luna Salada. It's at the border of the Uyuni Salt Flats, and as you can see, it's quite nice in here. So right now our bosses are making the check-in, and here we are in the lobby. All our stuff is here. The ground is out of salt, as you can see, and yeah, so far it is nice.
During our drive to get to this place, we stopped at the place which is called Las Galaxias. Over there we visited the cave which people discovered just about 20 years ago, after the year 2000. And over there they have this beautiful formations of the rocks which formed during a time once everything in the salt flat and the surrounding area was below the water. It was a very big lake, which was called the Lake Minchin. This lake now, or we could say, this lake after drying off gave birth to what we know today as a salt flat.
Okay guys, so we are here at the Gruba de las Galaxias. We're gonna go inside and let's see what we can see. Alright guys, now we are inside of the cave Gruba de las Galaxias, and we can see this beautiful formations here around me, which was all formed below sea level. Once a lake existed here, which today formed the famous salt flats of Uyuni, right? Called Minchin. And yeah, here we are.
So we went to this cave, which was very beautiful, where we had lights inside. So the people who administrate this place, they really put work into this. And just beside of this little cave, there's another cave, which is called the Devil's Cave. In this cave we found lots of old tombs from pre-Inca times. So some of these graves from this graveyard were about 3,000 years old, we could say, but maybe even older. There is no really scientific paper of this. However, those tombs, they looked really, really cool. They were inside this cave, which had a beautiful view to the outside of the place. And inside of it, there were little caves, we could say. Inside the caves, there were little caves where you could look into the tombs. And then we guessed that people were buried there. But now, unfortunately, everything is empty. So with the time, this graveyard had been stolen by tomb thieves. And that's very sad, because it's a very beautiful place. And for me, one of the most beautiful graveyards I've seen in my whole life.
Alright guys, here we are at the pre-Inca cemetery. You can see the cave is quite deep. It goes like 30 meters deep inside, and there's lots of tombs here, which all are very unique. You know, we can see a little entrance to them, and they're also quite deep. And most likely, they were buried with some like pottery, right? And maybe some other things which are left, which are not here anymore, because people have stolen this over the time. But it's a very, very incredible place.
Alright, and from there on we continued to drive. We crossed one very, very beautiful salt flat before arriving finally, kind of at the evening, at the Laguna Salada, which was this beautiful hotel I told you about before. From there on we would leave every morning to different excursions and then come back in the afternoon, where we would enjoy the spa area, the sauna, and also have a beautiful dinner there. So I can highly recommend this hotel. And one of the places we visited from there was a little island inside of the salt flat, which many people don't visit. So I'm not going to mention the name here, but the most famous one where everyone goes to is called Incahuasi.
Hello my friends, we are here now at one of the many islands which we can find inside of the Uyuni Salt Flat. We can see lots of cacti behind of us, lots of vegetation, which is incredible since here's only salt around us, as you can see. And yes, next to me my good old friend Nico. Nico, what do you think about the Salt Flat? How do you like it so far?
Hello everybody, I think it's a wonderful place, you have to visit it.
Something else, no? All
yeah,
right.
and now we are going to trekking, to hike.
We're going to the hike. Let's go. Alright guys, we made it now to the top of this beautiful island. As you can see, the salt flat surrounds us and the view is just amazing here. Can't believe it.
Another thing we did in the salt flat was going bike riding. So it was interesting to drive over the salt. Much more bumpier than someone would think, because not all places in the salt flat are really flat, you know.
Alright my friends, now we are going to start the bike ride here. It's 20 kilometers and we are going until the island which is far there in the back. So yeah, we will see how long it takes us, how it's going to be and everything. But yeah, so far it's interesting. We are preparing the bikes and then soon we will start.
Alright, and the third and last thing which I want to include in this video is an overland excursion, which means that we travel by car to see some places nearby the salt flat as well. Over here we drove from the Laguna Salada, from the hotel. We drove all the way to Tawa, which is a little town on the other side of the salt flat. So the drive was rather long, but it's very beautiful. I was very impressed that over there we could see lots of old constructions which date to around 1,000 years ago of today. And this is something really incredible to still find those constructions over there, and were all untouched.
Alright everyone, we are starting day 2 over here. And as you can see behind of me, we are already in the Uyuni Salt Flats. We're driving to a place called Tawa now, where we are probably doing a hike, and then to another island where we're gonna do the same. Maybe we also include a sunset today. Good morning my friends, we are on day 2 now of our excursion, of the expedition this time. And we are here on the other side of the salt flat now. You can see the salt flat behind of me, it looks just gorgeous. And we are in a place called Tawa, where we are going to do a little hike of about 2 or 3 kilometers. Nacho, how are you doing?
I'm good guys, but I have no voice, so maybe in the next chapter.
From Tawa we did an overland excursion which followed a road where we visited lots of small towns which were also beautiful to see, and for our surprise very often very empty. The reason for that is that the people there still live out of, we could say, of having animals and also planting their own goods. So during all our drive we could see llamas walking around freely. We could also find lots of fields which were worked on, right? Very important fruit which comes from Bolivia is the quinoa, and also lots of potatoes, right? Different varieties, which is incredible to see. And yeah, this overland, the highlight of it, which I wanted to mention to you, was the visit to a pucara, which we did here, an old fortress which overviewed the whole salt flat. Yeah? So that was amazing to see. Over there we had to hike up a little bit from the main road which we drove on, about maybe 2 kilometers we could say, until or before we arrived at this beautiful place, which, as I mentioned before, had these beautiful views over the salt flat.
Hi guys, this is Nacho one more time speaking. So we are heading up to the top of that mountain, we will see that there is a pucarao there. But meanwhile, what we can see over here is the terraces that basically they were growing the different type of cultives like quinoa, potatoes, among different types of vegetables. So they say that this terrace belongs to the Aymara people that used to live here around 1,200 years BC. So take a look. This has been here for almost around 800 years. It's a beautiful place. Take a look and enjoy this.
Hi. So Morris was telling you about lichens, and lichens are very interesting organisms because they are like an association between a fungus and an algae, and they prepare the surface for other plants to grow on that area. If you look at here, we see some lichens here, but also some bigger fungus. Yeah, fungi that is growing on the rocks.
I hope you enjoy the footage I can show you here in the cinematic reel, but that was very, very amazing. From there on we had to drive all the way back to the hotel where we used to stay at, and with this I want to finish this video, which is the first one maybe out of 3 videos, as last time it was an amazing experience in Bolivia so far, and I hope that you like the other episodes as well, because we have some really, really cool things coming up soon. So keep watching, subscribe to my channel and like this video. It would really help me out, and then I talk to you next time. Thank you and goodbye.